This video contains copyrighted material, which use, in accordance with U.S. copyright law, 17 U.S.C. Section 107 fair use, is allowed for the purposes of criticism, commenting, news reporting, teaching, and/or research, and is not an infringement of copyright. This is a non-profit, educational video, with the purpose of promoting social, political and economic awareness.
Warned his people about the Antichrist, about Dajjal, the false Messiah. And the prophet Noah warned his people. But I say to you something that none have said before me. The Antichrist sees with one eye, his left eye. He's blind in the right eye. It looks like a bulging grape. But your Lord is not one.
You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. That there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there. It is this feeling that has brought you to me. Do you want to know what it is? This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
In this situation, the blue pill works better than the red pill, and it turns out the blue pill's half as expensive as the red pill.
If there's a blue pill and a red pill, and the blue pill is half the price of the red pill and works just as well, why not pay half price?
Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
A symbol is anything that is agreed upon to designate something else. The advantage of symbols is that they may communicate complex concepts while being simple in and of themselves. Most symbols are simple drawings that consist of a few pen strokes, while other symbols are objects or actions. The diamond on a wedding ring, for instance, is a symbol. Imagine all the things that can be inferred about a husband who gives his wife a wedding ring mounted with a piece of glass or a random pebble instead of a diamond. An apple is just a fruit, and yet has been commonly associated with education, wisdom, and teachers. A wink is an action, but also a symbol. It is often used to communicate sexual interest, or to convey a hint. The foundation of all symbols is agreement. When a symbol is repeatedly used in the same context, agreement regarding that symbol's meaning is formed. As time progresses, the symbol's meaning solidifies. If symbols are used randomly, with constantly changing meanings and associations, they fail to be symbols at all. After all, what good is a symbol that means something different each and every time you see it? Illuminati symbolism, used in popular culture such as movies, novels, and TV shows, isn't used randomly either. Believing that all-seeing eyes, pyramids, and suns are inserted into random places in a movie is an easy mistake to make. But let's think about that. Let me take you to a backward universe where the meaning of symbols is arbitrary and random. A world where hospital signs lead to fire stations and elementary schools. A world where the play and pause symbols have no bearing on what the buttons actually do. A world where radiation signs, biohazard symbols, don't walk signs, and dollar signs are placed randomly throughout the city and used interchangeably. You get the idea. If used randomly and without repeating context, the symbol fails to be a symbol at all. We don't use symbols randomly. We can't afford to, and neither can the Illuminati. The Illuminati is more dependent on symbols than most, and the reason is that it allows for secure communication no matter where the messages are located. As long as the masses are kept outside of that symbol's agreed upon meaning, any message can be hidden in plain sight. And, as stated earlier, not all symbols are drawings. This is so important to remember as we move forward.
Why do some artists who have a certain amount of talent, some not very much, why do they get picked up by the corporations to become these big influencers of young people and other people through the entertainment and the music industry, and others with incredible talent never get off the ground? It's because they are chosen.
Most people still they think that all entertainment is therefore nothing more than entertainment. It never ever was that case.
What we see here is that this is actually all based up into psychological warfare done by military intelligence wrapped up with occultism.
Get to the X Factor, your final starts right here!
They've been programmed. And I'm sad because I know that it's hard for people like that to take a serious interest in world affairs. I see how easy it is for the masses to be manipulated.
It's a psychic weapon to blind people from all the majesty and beauty that is.
To hear that, because there's a bunch of devil workers in Hollywood. Hollywood, and there's a lot of black folks too, and they be throwing up them signs. You see them, this, that, all of them. Watch the rappers, watch them folks. It's scary. It's very scary. That devil is real.
Well, what is this?
Oh, the devil in this mess, yeah.
Because I closed this up. I thought this was rock on.
Be careful. No, the goat, be careful. They'll get you. Be careful.
Show them how the sign of the curse works. Sign completely different. How does it go? No, not at you people out there in the audience, but this is the difference. Aim it toward Red China, would you? This is the sign of the horns. A curse sign, the two fingers extended.
said, now, I gotta know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. Please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says the same as when you were in, so that we can place spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon.
Come save me, the devil's working hard. He probably clocking double shifts on all of his jobs.
Satan knows that secular songs glorifies sin, because while you're listening to it, sin is on your mind, like lust, partying.
It's that time of the week she like to freak a leak and get naughty. Therefore I like to thank God and Ice Cube for Friday, cause la-di-da-di.
Drinking, smoking, violence,
I ain't never touched a gas that I couldn't shoot,
and rage. Satan promotes the different styles of music with a secular artist, like hip-hop, rap, R&B, pop, rock.
I'm gonna hit something. I'm gonna hit something right now. Church, that we're not operating in Mystery Babylon. What is Mystery Babylon? It's hidden iniquity, it's hidden sin, it's hidden stuff that you can't see, it's stuff that we cover up. I'm not hearing nobody say nothing.
fame, fortune, and everything you desire, but in return, you gotta sell them your soul. This is not make-believe. This stuff is really happening in the music industry. Let me show you what Kanye West said at one of his concerts.
I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. Lisa came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. I'm spaced out, dog. I be on that moon talk. I wonder if God asked Mike how to moonwalk.
Kanye West didn't just say that to be creative. He really sold his soul to the devil. You have to sell your soul to get to the level where he is. You gotta do what they tell you to do. You gotta act like they tell you to act. You gotta dress like they tell you to dress because they own you. They become your God and you have to worship them. And when I say they and them, I'm talking about the Illuminati, the people who run the music industry, the people who run the whole entertainment industry for that matter. These people are Satan worshipers. They are directly connected to the devil, and by selling out to them, you automatically sell out to the devil. And that's why Michael Jackson called Tommy Mottola a devil.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
See, Michael Jackson grew up in the music industry, and he knew what it was all about. He sold his soul to the devil a long time ago. Now, most people will look at this picture and see a young boy making the OK sign with his hand. But this is not the OK sign. This is a satanic hand symbol that represents 666, the seal of Satan. The circle in the first finger is 16. The circle in the second finger is another 6. The circle in the last finger is another 6. So when you put them all together, you get 666. Like I said, Michael Jackson grew up in the music industry. He's been involved with the Illuminati since he was young. Now, if you don't believe this hand sign means anything, take a look at these other celebrities and see what they're doing in these pictures. Here you see Beyonce, a top-level witch, and we're going to deal with her next. But here you see Beyonce flashing the 666. Here's Drake, 666 over one eye. Neo, 666. Shakira, 666. Justin Timberlake, 666 over one eye. T-Pain, 666. Lil Wayne, 666 over one eye. Now look at this next one. This is Lady Gaga. Look at her right hand, 666. But notice the symbol that's in front of her. It's a pyramid with an eye inside of it. That eye is the eye of Horus. Now Horus was one of the main gods that the Egyptians worshipped. That's why when you see this eye, you often see a pyramid with it, as you see here. This pyramid with the eye inside is the same symbol that Jay-Z always puts up. It's also the same symbol that's on the back of the dollar bill, because that's what this is all about, selling your soul to the devil just to make a dollar. Back in the day, Method Man said it best in the song.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
See, that's the mentality of these people. In the music industry, it's all about making money. Cash rules everything. All they think about is making money. These so-called celebrities are willing to do anything to be rich. Let's see what the scriptures say about that. Mark 8:36. For what shall it profit a man if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? And that's what they do. They sell their soul to gain the world. Let's look at one more. This is 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. So you got people so caught up in chasing money because they love it so much that they destroyed themselves in the process. Yeah, now they got money, now they rich, but they serve Satan. And it also said they pierced themselves through with many sorrows, because you got people who got everything there is to have in the world, but they're miserable because they have no type of connection with the Most High. And that's part of what happened with Michael Jackson. He was spiritually lost. See, Mike knew all about the satanic movement in the music industry because he was a part of it, but he was getting tired of it. He wanted to get out of that part of the business a long time ago, but it ain't that easy once you get in. Mike even sung about being trapped in one of his songs called You Can't Win from the movie The Wiz. Listen closely to these lyrics.
Reiterate and syncopate.
You can't win, you can't make even, and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are gonna change, but they look just like they're staying the same. You get in, way over your head, and you only got yourself to blame. You can win time, can't break even, can't get out of the game.
Now in that song, he also said you can't break even, but he tried to leave Sony at least owning half of it.
So I'm leaving Sony a free agent, owning half of Sony.
Michael Jackson was frustrated and he got ahead of himself. He got cocky and he started to openly speak out against the Illuminati. He called Tommy Mottola a devil on national TV.
And Tommy Mottola is a devil.
Michael Jackson decided he was going to get out that deal no matter what. And the results of that decision were tragic.
You only see what your eyes want to see. How can life be what you want it to be? You're frozen when your heart's not open. You're so consumed with how much you get. You waste your time with hate and regret. You're broken when your heart's not open. If I will your heart, we'd never be apart. Give yourself to me.
Back, I never would've rapped. I sold my soul to the devil. I never. Hey, Dad, my boo-boo's about to have my baby. I think it's too late for bringing. Hold up, her voice spoke to me and it slowly started saying,
bring your lifestyle to me, I make it better.
And how long will I live?
Eternal life and forever.
Oh, will I be the G that I was?
I make your life better than you can imagine or even dreamed of. So relax your soul, let me take control. Close your eyes, my soul.
My eyes are closed.
Still out here doing these songs, you know, you're still on tour.
I do, but I don't take it for granted.
Why do you still do it? Why are you still out here?
Well, it goes back to the destiny thing. I made a bargain with it, you know, a long time ago, and I'm holding up my hand.
What was your bargain?
To get where I am now.
Should I ask who you made the bargain with?
with the chief commander.
On this earth?
And this earth, and then in the world we can't see.
And of course, Rihanna is in the building.
Hey, Angie.
I cannot believe it's been so long that we have done this.
You know, I am misunderstood a lot at times. My music, my image, people have their whole thing about me, whether it be me being a devil worshiper or whatever. Besides them reading into my hand over my eye on my album cover.
Why is your hand over your eye on your album?
Because I'm a devil worshiper. What are you talking about?
Things Love Me is full of occultism.
And these hoes love me like Satan, man. And these hoes love me like Satan, man.
These artists think they're having fun worshiping Satan. Lil Wayne shows proudly that he's demonically possessed. What these artists don't know is that Satan is actually making a mockery of them. In this video, Lil Wayne is shown with bugs crawling on his face. In hell, there will be bugs and worms crawling inside of the souls in hell who did not accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior as part of their...
Like off the record interview, he was being interviewed for Ozone magazine. This is why I say Lil Wayne is the devil. It speaks for itself. I want y'all, first of all, I want to say one thing to y'all. Y'all know tattoo tears. When people say they have tattoo tears, that means that they have murdered someone before. And that's what Lil Wayne is implying in this audio. But I mean, it's way more in the audio. Just listen. I want you to drop the music too, Red Chris. Drop the music. Drop the music. I want the Tri-State to really hear this. Philly, Jersey, Delaware. This is the man you love, Lil Wayne. Listen.
We don't play no with that. I'm not gonna rap about you, and I will murder you, your family, your child. If it's a newborn, I don't give a I could never go to hell because I'm gonna take over.
You'll murder a family? You'll murder a child? You'll murder a newborn? 2 songs y'all request on the radio? That's who you let your children listen to, people? Huh? That's who y'all idolize? That guy? Are you serious?
All those that think hell is a big party, think again. This video also shows women who represent demons of different types. The women in these cages are demons of lust. Some may be known as succubus. These are demons of sexual perversion, immorality, and homosexuality.
About, what was going on in my life at 15, and that's how I got introduced to the music industry. I swear I wanted to be like the Amy Grant of music. Yeah. But it didn't work out, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Hypnotizing. Could you be the devil? Could you be an angel? Your touch, magnetizing. Physical imploding. Leaves my body glowing. Stay, be afraid. I'm not like the others. Futuristic brothers. They don't understand you. You're from the heart of the world, a different dimension. You are in my eyes, and I'm ready to go. Lead me into the light. Kiss me, infect me with your love, and fill me with your poison. Take me, wanna be a victim, ready for abduction.
I sit on a council of 13 people that take orders only from the Rothschild Tribunal in London, which they claim they take their orders directly from Lucifer.
I was the manager of Zodiac Productions, which Zodiac Productions' name's been changed since then. I'm not even sure what they call it now, but it's the largest music conglomerate in the world. It owns RCA Records, Columbia Records, Motown Records, owns almost all the concert booking agencies in the United States. And that's not even the name of the company that owns it. The name of the company that owns it is Brenner Enterprises, and Brenner Enterprises is owned by Chase Manhattan. Chase Manhattan's owned by Standard Oil, and Standard Oil is owned by the Lords of London. You can track it on back. You kind of get the idea after a while. But I was the managing president of Zodiac Productions. It's one of my jobs as being one of these 13 people. Thus, I got to know many of the people who produce music and sing the music and play the music that you play. Now, one of the closest friends that I got during that time that I obtained was a man named David Crosby. Crosby, Still, Nash and Young. I saw David the day before Christmas last year. Talked with him. I got him away from this witch that he had with him. He told her to go shopping. We were in West Hollywood, and I was witnessing around to people I knew. We went off in this store, and we started talking. I said, David, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. I said, I already know the answers, but I've been gone for 5 years. I'd like to know if certain things are still the way they were when I left. I said, now I'll have to explain some of this when I'm done, because you're not going to understand it all unless you know something about music. I said, do they still take the master to the temple room? Dave said, yeah. I said, do they still have the coven conjure demons into the master? He said, of course. I said, now, I got to know something. What's the main reason for rock music? He said, come on, Lance, you know what the reason is. I said, please, David, I don't want to guess. Tell me what the main reason is. He says, the same as when you were in, so that we can play spells on people that we couldn't cast spells upon. I'll explain what that means in a minute. I said, okay, one last thing. I've been hearing that you must be an initiated witch now to get a record contract. He said, that's right. He says, many of us that weren't total witches have to be witches now in order to produce music. I said, thank you. The master is a tape about as big as the top of this podium that looks like an overgrown 8-track that the album is cut on and is placed in a machine that produces and presses the records and the 8-tracks and cassettes that you buy. After it's been recorded, it's taken in. This is why a master's cut months in advance before it's released. On the full moon, it's taken in to a temple room about the size of this auditorium that is in every one of the major music companies, behind locked doors up in the executive offices. And it's placed on an altar sitting in the north of the room and a pentagram engraved in the floor. And 13 hand-chosen witches and wizards and a coven come in and conjure a principality or a power up, usually Regia or something like that, and order him to tell the demons under him to follow every record and every tape coming off of that master. As I tell many Christian parents, you can go home and count your kids' records, probably yours too, and count how many demons at least are there. If that's too hard for you to believe, I'm sorry. That's why they do it. Now listen to me. This is why rock music's addicting. Have you ever seen kids that got rid of their music? They go around like this. They can't wait to find a rock station somewhere and they sneak off just like getting a cigarette or a fix because it's addicting. That's why they can't give it up. The rest of the conversation was this. You can't cast a spell on a Christian, but you can get a Christian to cast a spell on themselves. If you give the permission for the spell to work, being a Christian won't block it. And rock music is not just a song. It is supernatural music that which is carefully designed by their spirit guides or familiar spirits in the form of spells. Now, although the devil's music's power is the music and God's music is the words, much of the songs are written in what we call witch language. To give you kind of an idea, many of you talk on a CB, unless you know what a smoky is, and a 10-4, and a front door and back door and rocking chair and these type of things, you don't know what you're talking about. Same with witches. When you're in the first and second level, you have to learn over 2,000 words that said by anybody else means something totally different than when you say them. Elton John has said he's never written a song or sung a song that wasn't in witch language. And I want to show you something. See how many kids in here will be honest and adults. How many remember and have heard at least several times a song called Hotel California? Somebody tell me what it meant. Quickly, somebody tell me what it meant. Huh? That's pretty close. But from the words, what did it mean? Well, that's more of a guess. See, most people can't tell you. That's why when people do drugs and they listen to songs in which language, they get some of the meaning. But most of the time, they can't tell you. Stop and think how many songs are out there that you really like, and you don't have any idea what the person was talking about. Beyond the Yellow Brick Road? How about The Destroyer by Kiss? Can anybody tell me what it's about? Kiss said in it, kids, kill your parents. They're talking about Helter Skelter. Beatles sung Helter Skelter in which language? Nobody knew what it meant. Manson did because he belonged to the process. Helter Skelter is a several thousand-year-old word. Most of the music is either about Helter Skelter or a place called the Night Winds, which is what Hotel California is about, and different doctrines of witchcraft. You listen to them, your parents let you listen to them, and they have no idea.
Kiss openly bragged how they were gaining control of people through their music because the people played their music. They told how they didn't form their own group. Their church, because they were ordained ministers of the Satanist church, placed them together. And that's how most of the music is done. David Crosby, when him and Crosby, Still, Nash & Young produced the record Two-Way Street, they ordered the principality of Medici to order demons of rebellion to go into the record, and everybody that heard it would be rebellious against law and order and government. And it was one of the reasons for the great upheaval in the 60s was that one album, and they take open credit for it.
I have personally talked with Johnny Todd on the basis of Jack Chick's recommendation. Having known Johnny Todd now for more than 4 years, and my having known him for some 6 months, I believe that Johnny Todd is a genuinely converted man, saved by the grace of God out of the depths of Satanism.
But the info that I got to share with you, I got to get it to you ASAP. And you know, that's what this video is about. The group ASAP, and in particular one of the members, ASAP Rocky. Let me explain. A few minutes ago, I jumped on the internet and I got a Skype from one of my entertainment insiders. Now, this guy began to share with me how he came in contact with the group ASAP Rocky at an industry event that he recently attended. Now, unfortunately, my inside entertainment guy did not want to go on the screen with the Skype interview and reveal this information to you himself personally. So, to respect his anonymity, I'm not going to tell you his name, neither the entertainment outfit that he's associated with at this time, but I will share with you the information. When he told me that he was at that industry event and came in contact with ASAP Rocky, I knew exactly what he was getting ready to talk about next. I've noticed that within their videos there was a ton of occult symbology. These guys playing with Bibles, standing inside of Baphomets. The clothing line that they're wearing has the compass and square. It's called Black Label and has Baphomets on it. These guys fully are promoting the occult. And ladies and gentlemen, this is not the only group that is guilty for using a high amount of occult symbology within their videos. What's going on right now within the entertainment industry and media at large, period, is the fulfilling of Alice Bailey's stratagem to make all of the arts occultic, music, poetry, arts, etc., to make them immoral, occultic, obscene, all of these things. It is a part of the New Age movement's agenda to establish a one world government system under which Lucifer will be acknowledged as sovereign. Why? Because our minds will be already acclimated to receiving these demonic suggestions as something that is good, because we have enjoyed it in our music, we've enjoyed it in our television programs, our cartoons, our video games, and in our clothing. ASAP is a new group that is just blowing up the same way that Odd Future blew up, the same way that Lady Gaga blew up, and every other artist that is jumping in the industry right now that is making sure that within their videos, on the clothing that they're wearing, they are throwing out occult symbols all over the place, and connected with those occult symbols within their music, though they may not make a conscious decision to do this, but because they've become ready agents of the devil, because they have submitted their hearts not to Jesus Christ, but to the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life. The very principles contained within their music are the very principles that are connected to the symbols that are being promoted from the occult. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what's transpiring. Going back to the story, my entertainment insider was at this event, came in contact with ASAP Rocky, and was impressed because this group came up out of Harlem, New York, came up out of nothing, and just recently they got $1 million deal. I wasn't surprised because I saw that they were connecting themselves with the occult. So that is always going to be the direct result of that type of activity. And so he got one of their mixtapes, went home, he began to listen to it over and over and over and over again in his car, in his home. But one night as he was listening to one of the particular songs, he saw some eyes in the dark. His room was dark and he saw some eyes in the room. And then he began to feel like he was being ripped from the inside out. What he was experiencing was a demonic attack. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you think that you can profess to be Christians and listen to the music of the world at the same time? The Bible is very clear in the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33. Be not deceived, Evil communications corrupt good manners. In the book of Proverbs chapter 4 and verse 28, we are told, keep thy heart, thy mind, your emotions, and your desires. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Our mind is the citadel in which the Spirit of God desires to abide with us for eternity if we submit our hearts to Jesus Christ. But the devil is trying to make it his resting place, his throne room, and we as quote-unquote professed Christians are giving him full reign within our lives by continuing to view and listen to this corrupt entertainment. A$AP Rocky, Lady Gaga, Kanye West, Tyler the Creator, and Odd Future, Wolfgang Kill Them all these guys, they're just examples of what's going on a broad scale with the entire media industry at large. Why? Because it is the agency, the platform by which the devil can reach the masses in the shortest period of time, and you're falling for this garbage hook, line, and sinker. When are you going to make a clear and concise decision within your heart to make a break with the world? The Bible tells us in the book of 1 John chapter 2, verses 15 and 16, love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. For if any man loveth the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life, it is not of the Father, it is of the world. You have to make a decision. I understand that the music is attractive. I understand the media is attractive. I was in the industry. I was producing that garbage to dwarf your minds, to pervert your intellect, and to draw you out of a relationship with Jesus Christ. I was a part of that whole system, but I'm telling you from the inside out, it's time to make a clear break. Choose you this day whom you will serve. You want A$AP Rocky? Have him. Trust me, you need to stop listening to that garbage as soon as possible. That's what ASAP is an acronym for. Get it out of your life. And anything else that might be separating you from having an intimate relationship with Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Our only hope in these last days is Jesus Christ. The Bible tells us in the book of James chapter 4 and verse 4, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? Whosoever therefore shall be the friend of the world is the enemy of God. You can't continue to walk on this imaginary line. There is no fence separating the world and Christ. You can either be with Christ or be with the world. Either or. There is no fence activity going on here. If you're on the fence, you're in the devil's camp, bottom line. And you need to stop the nonsense. The Bible is very clear. You can read the Bible all day long. You can pray all day long. But if you continue to inundate your mind with this corrupt, perverted, occult, satanic filth, you will corrupt the simplicity of the power of the gospel of Jesus Christ to give you that victory over sin in your life. You won't have it. Because these things strip you of it and they make you vessels in which demonic spirits can dwell. And trust me, I know exactly what I'm talking about. You can't continue in this path. It's time to make a clear decision. The New Age agenda is being fulfilled. It's being carried out, and it will be carried out to the T. The question is, are you going to be one of the people that fall for the deception? The truth is here. If you want it, get it. It's free. It's available. But if you want the world, take that too. Good luck with that.
Okay.
This was the last place I thought you'd show up.
How y'all doing? All of y'all together? Oh, I know you guys. Mom and Dad, they're friends and everybody.
And Mom and Dad. Right now. Yeah.
You get that?
I'm working on it for you.
Here goes my card. I'm gonna leave.
Okay, you are funny.
I'm gonna say hello. I'm Michael. How are you? Tell him. Tell him.
He is a very good impersonator.
All right. Seriously. I'm sorry.
Well, I couldn't see. I know I've worked with you a few times. As soon as you walked out,
I don't know.
Hey, good.
Okay, well, you had the whole hall talking tonight. Yeah, the whole hall talking. I perform in Pittsburgh, and I do Christian, and I rock and roll, and I love Christian music, and I love this lady. It's the first time I've seen her.
That's great.
Well, I'm
So
glad you came.
I was always too busy.
What fun.
So I'm gonna
You
keep.
created quite a stir down there.
I'm gonna keep your note too. I kept everybody's time.
Oh, that's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Absolutely.
Nice to meet you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
nice.
Well, you're going to...
Okay, squeeze in, Eddie, you're not in. Okay.
That's a video.
Yeah, and one.
It's
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's yours. Oh, I got it.
As I look into your eyes, well, I wonder if it's wise to hold you like I've wanted to before. Tonight, ooh, I was thinking that you might be the one who brings life in this heart of mine. Next time I fall in love, I know better what to do.
What? No.
No! 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 No!